Meet Lisa. She is a Wall Street analyst with the firm Moffett-Nathanson, and she's ranked pretty decently as well, number 723 out of 7,459 analysts on TipRanks, with an overall 4.5 star rating. But what's more interesting is Lisa's success rate. She has a 92% win rate, where 36 out of 39 of her forecasts have worked out. That is a pretty impressive win rate. And for the last few years, me using TipRanks, this is actually the first time I've come across an analyst on a stock that I've been looking into that has such a high success rate. So that says something. So you may be saying at this point, Nick, why do we care about Lisa? Well, guys, the thing is, Lisa here is actually very bullish, and I mean very bullish here on Coinbase, and I'm going to explain exactly why. I'm going to show you her price target. I'm going to show you what other analysts think as well on Coinbase, and I think you're going to be excited if you're invested in the stock or thinking of buying the stock sometime soon. And if you don't mind, take a second, guys, hit the like button down below, helps the channel tremendously. And if you want to see, data from any other analysts on stocks that you personally own, check out TipRanks, link description down below. Okay, so Coinbase is actually a super interesting stock. It's one that I can already see is kind of dividing the community, is kind of polarizing. People either love the premise and love the company and love what they've built, or they just think this company is a dime a dozen, can be easily replicated, nothing really going for them, not worth an investment. I see both sides of this, and honestly, it's still too early. Even though this company's been around for a while, it's still too early to say which camp is going to win out. I would say for the most part, Wall Street is leaning more towards the positive side. And influencers on YouTube are also leaning more towards the positive side. However, that being said, there are still plenty of people out there that just don't believe in this story and just don't think this is a good investment. And hey, my hat's off to everyone. Much respect for speaking your voice. I love to hear both sides of the story because that always helps strengthen conviction in stocks. Now, the other thing you need to know with Coinbase is that it's heavily tied to cryptocurrency. Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically, the fluctuation in those prices, how well those assets do over time, it's going to affect Coinbase directly. So this is definitely a volatile stock to own. Now, I made a video on this last week on why I like Coinbase, and a big reason is for their institutional involvement when it comes to Bitcoin, so check that video out. You'll get some insight there as well. I think all things considered, Coinbase has a ton of potential ahead, and we'll see what analysts have to say here in a second. As of today, the stock is sitting at around $333 per share, so nothing too crazy, but just wait to see where this thing can go. Analysts see 60% upside with a $536 price target on Coinbase. Now, mind you, huge caveat, this is with a small sample size of only 4 analysts, and it should fluctuate more as more analysts come in here to take on this beast with a price target of their own, but things are looking good for anyone who bought in on the IPO. The consensus price is higher than the all-time high of Coinbase, so we could see any paper losses that people have right now being recouped fairly quickly. Oh, and remember Lisa? She has a price target of a whopping $600 on the stock. Over an 80% upside is what she thinks is likely. And what's more assuring is see the other 3 analysts as well, they all have double-digit upside predictions here on Coinbase, implying that the prices that they see right now in the mid to low 300s is just too cheap. Now, in a statement to Yahoo Finance, Lisa stated that she was positive on the outlook for cryptocurrency as a massively disruptive technology. She went on to say that Coinbase, as the market leader in the space, is a must-own asset if you're a growth or tech-oriented investor. She did state, though, that you should be cautious and you should have a multi-year time horizon on this. And that's exactly what we do on this channel. We don't look for stocks to make a quick buck here in the next week, in the next month, in the next few months. I look for investments that I can hold for many years. I'm happy to hold my stocks for 3, 5, 10 years. I plan it out in the sense that I only put in capital that I'm willing to just let grow over time. And Coinbase seems to fit this criteria quite well. Now here's the elephant in the room, the selling that insiders have been doing, and they've been unloading tons of shares since the company went public. This is honestly the benefit and real purpose of a direct listing. It's to allow insiders and early investors like this to cash out. And honestly, think of it this way. If you're an investor in Coinbase, an early investor, and your capital's been tied in for almost a decade in this company, and you've made many times your money in this investment, wouldn't it make sense to cash out and then use that money elsewhere for another possible investment that could make you another 100x or something? It's very unlikely that Coinbase is gonna like 100x from here, from today's prices. So as someone who got in super early, they can use that capital better elsewhere, risk to reward, it just makes sense. And the same kind of line of thinking goes with the CEO and management as well. They have dedicated their life to building this company. They have built up a very successful business. So hey, good on them for cashing out, realizing some of those profits, because in this market, you just can't predict where things are going. We could be up 10% one day, down 50% the next day. Anything goes here. It's a volatile time, and we don't know if we're out of the woodworks with everything that's going on with the Fed and the money printing and all that stuff. So with all of this uncertainty looming, if you've built a company for many years, you have the option to cash out and be a huge multi-millionaire, possibly a billionaire. I think most of us would consider cashing out at least some of our shares. Personally, guys, I actually like the value that Coinbase is at today. Now, mind you, I would have loved to see the stock drop into the 200s. I think at that point it would be a very good bargain. But right now in the mid to low 300s, not too bad of a deal. There's just still so much unknown with the future of this business. It relies so heavily here on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And really, these two assets have only taken off in the last few months. So we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of volatility happening in this space right now. Bitcoin is seeing a significant correction. Actually, I think all of the cryptocurrencies are seeing a significant correction. But keep in mind, this is typically good for Coinbase because a lot of people are buying and selling, all that panic. Institutions are probably trying to make some money on this as well. And Coinbase is making some dough on all of those transactions. Just keep that in mind. But anyways, if we're looking at what, the 4 analysts right now in Wall Street have as a price target for this, there's a possibility, guys, that this stock could be a 2x return in 2021 itself. And that is a pretty good opportunity, if you ask me, for a pretty interesting company. And I can't blame anyone who decided to just dabble a little bit here on this new listing. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments. Are you an investor in Coinbase? Are you planning to buy Coinbase? What's your entry target? What's your price target for the end of 2021? Love to hear all of that and more in the comments down below. But either way, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.